Hello and welcome back everybody. It's Complicated Relationships Reddit Stories. Hope you guys are safe and healthy. Now let's see what the story is about today. In today's story, what OP says is, I have cancer and my wife has been cheating on me for 6 months. A bit of a ramble, but I don't know where to put it. And I want to put this out there. Now it's time we listen to the story. Also, if you like what I do, please give this video a thumbs up and do subscribe to the channel.
Last year, December 15th, I found out I had stage 2 testicular cancer, which means it had spread to the lymph nodes. At the time, I was happily married, and I was locked into what I thought was going to be a valiant battle against cancer with my wife. Unfortunately, this wasn't the case. Before the cancer, she started streaming on Twitch and met a guy apparently. I won't get into specifics because I'm above it, and that isn't the point of this post. 33-year-old cowards who live at home and make fun of terminally ill cancer patients are attractive apparently. I'm not quite sure why, after 13 years of being together, 9 of marriage, and a son together, my wife decided to abandon us in the middle of chemotherapy, drain our bank accounts, and leave me to take care of our son alone while going through treatment. But that's what happened. She has a mental illness, bipolar with psychosis, and schizoaffective disorder, that is made worse by THC use, which she was heavily engaged in during my treatment. But I'm so tired of making excuses for her bad behavior.
For 6 months, OP suggested counseling, and for 6 months, he refused to see the signs staring at him in the face when she told him she wasn't cheating.
My final day of chemotherapy, which was May 15th, I found a parking violation from his car in her wallet. So while I was being injected with literal poison trying to live another day, she was out cheating. She continued to lie and gaslight me all through treatment. She continued to leave for days at a time to see him. She dropped me from our health insurance, despite the fact that I need a life-saving surgery called RPLND in order to eradicate the cancer for good. Her apathy towards me turned into pure hostility at my existence. I didn't accept any of this until I stopped being blind to my situation a few weeks ago and pieced everything together through texts, call logs from our phone bill, bank account info, and just general unwillingness to accept what was happening right in front of me. She moved in with him and lives only a football field away, but I have an order of protection in place to ensure the safety of myself and my son, as she refuses to go back onto her meds for her illness and is probably using drugs extensively.
She even stole SSI money deemed for their son, autism, in order to facilitate this move, but OP reported her already for that and switched the payee to himself to avoid further complications.
As you can imagine, finding out about all this, or rather just accepting it, finally threw me for a loop. I decided that if she has been cheating for 6 months, the marriage has effectively been dead for that long, and it's alright if I go on a date or two. I downloaded some apps, signed up for some stuff, and talked to quite a few lovely gals, and even had some dates scheduled, including this past Saturday. At the final hour, I decided against it, and instead opted to hang out with some old friends my wife had burned when we tried to have an intervention for her. I apologized for everything that happened, and was able to mend a bridge I thought was burned forever. I deleted all the apps and suspended or deleted my accounts I had made. It's bad, because I met and talked with some really neat gals who may have been right for me. Unfortunately, who I am now is someone who still loves who my wife was, and it wouldn't be fair to anyone looking for a genuine commitment. Oh, and please don't get the wrong idea. I would never take her back. I really can't think of anything more egregious than cheating on a spouse going through chemotherapy, as well as taking away the best shot I have surviving the ordeal with the best possible chances.
OP's chances of successful surgery are decent, but they would have been better had she not removed him from insurance and delayed the surgery.
Anyhow, I've decided that I'm going to respect the vows I made. Prior to her and in my teenage years, I had cheated on almost every girl I ever dated. I was a bad dude. When I got married, I swore that I would never cheat ever again, and to date, I've held that promise to my wife, and more importantly, to myself. I think the most important part of a promise is keeping it even when you yourself are the only thing holding accountability to it. She betrayed me at my darkest hour, and quite honestly gave me PTSD, but I'm going to respect the girl she was, not the evil she has become.
More importantly, OP has a little boy to raise alone now. He has to give him an example to follow.
When he wants to talk about this whole experience, when he's able to process it, I want to be able to look at him man to man and have no regrets about the way I conducted myself. I want to be the person he thinks I am, or as much as I can be. Don't get me wrong, someday when the divorce is finally filed, decreed, litigated, and finalized, and she no longer carries my name, I'll think about it. Even then, the focus of my time and resources needs to be him for a little while. I know what it's like to feel unwanted by a parent, and unfortunately, he does as well. I don't know how to explain to him when he asks why mom doesn't love him and won't talk to him. She's allowed to text and call. Why things are the way they are, all I can do is be a good example. She won't always carry my name, but he will. I applied for a government job that required a secret clearance about a year ago, before the diagnosis, and found out recently the investigation was adjudicated in my favor, meaning I get to be a federal agent. Ironic that a dream of mine since the age of 12 only happens after the worst adversity of my life, but at least something went right. This has been the most therapeutic thing I've done since I found out. Thank you for reading my story.
End of the story. Well, OP, you're so much better without her. Nothing like cancer to make you focus a good, positive, and meaningful life. You really don't have the energy to waste any brain time on someone so lightweight and immoral. Go dating and start slow. You might find a wonderful friend to make you laugh again. Good luck, and I hope she stays out of your life, but I bet she'll be back with tears and a sob story when the money runs out. Never ever take her back. Before we go, let's listen to a few comments by the beautiful community. The first comment is by Mesta Buell.
That's a horrible thing to do to someone. I really don't know why she would ever think that it was okay, but at least you've held on to your principles. Character is who you are in the dark, and I'd say right now, you've demonstrated yours pretty well. I know you have probably thought of this, but if you haven't, take some time and record your thoughts and feelings about things for your son. If your treatment goes well, you won't need it, and things are fine. If it doesn't, and I also know that this will be morbid, but bear with me, I have good intent, then your son might not be able to fully understand it right now, but as he grows, he will appreciate being able to hear from you about this part of your life. OP replies, inspired by my favorite anime, I've actually written letters for every year of his life, as well as major events. Marriage, graduation, coming out as gay, if he does, and even jail, lol. Just wanted to cover everything I could think of.
Second comment is by Joel New LBN.
This made me sick to my stomach. The sheer panic and anxiety I felt would have destroyed me. I'm so happy that in light of all of this, you received some good news. I'm also proud that you were able to take a step back and examine your actions, if for nothing more than to set a good example for your son. The early phases are perhaps the most difficult in the healing process, but you will heal. Hoping that you and your son stay safe. OP's reply, yeah, the rage and depression is really the worst in an event like this. I really wanted to take it out on the guy, and it's honestly probably good that he's such a coward and won't face me. But looking at how that would affect my boy really set in stone how meaningless it would be. I don't show my son what a man is by beating up someone half my size, but by showing him how to overcome adversity in a tempered but aggressive persistence. Thank you for your words.
Third comment is by I Like Pretty Things.
Dude, there's a lot here, but I just want to say she abandoned you. You're not cheating. She broke her vows in a million ways in this post, and you're allowed to date. It's not cheating. OP replies, I know. I would be completely justified morally for dating. She's gone and living with a guy while I raise our son and fight this battle alone. I'm better than her. I'm going to beat this knowing that I never compromised in who I am and what I promised. It's not for her. It's for me and my son.
Fourth comment is by SD Homegrown.
I'm 27 and have cervical cancer for a second time now, plus a bunch of other problems caused from radiation damage. Anyway, I just found out my boyfriend had cheated on me with his ex. We live together with his son in a beautiful home by the beach that we just settled in. I'm devastated to say the least. I can't afford to move and have no family to turn to. Your post is old, so I won't babble on much. Let me know if you get this. I would love to talk to someone who can relate to this pain. This is OP's reply. Hi, seems you and I are in a messy club together. This post is old, but the wound of it isn't really gone. Having a voice here did help though. I'm sorry you don't have family to turn to. The one saving grace in this is that my family rallied behind me hard when this went down. Forgive me for overstepping if I am, but I'm assuming that you're staying and trying to make it work?
Fifth and final comment is by M. Force.
I went through cancer and chemo last year. I can't imagine going through all that plus what happened to you. You sound like a great father and a good man. Good for you for not doing the dating apps while still technically married. That could have come back to bite you. Even though she left you, you never know. Once everything is finalized, go for it. Meet another gal, date, and have a good life. Be a good example and father for your son. Have fun with your new job. Congratulations. This is the reply by OP. Yeah, I have ample evidence and witness to her affair, and basically her own admission at this point is she's moved in with the loser and used stolen SSI money to do it. When I look back at this, I want to know that I was the better person and didn't resort to becoming evil and breaking a promise simply because she did. It doesn't mean anything to yet, obviously, but it means something to me.
Thank you all for listening. Please like, comment and share the video if you enjoyed it. Also, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you will be notified when we upload the next video. Take care.